Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today we're going to be doing the next 5 stages, stages 7 to 11 of the Fanhome release of Build the Michael Bay Optimus Prime.
My name is Optimus Prime.
So this is the movie version of Optimus Prime that we're building at the moment, and we have already made a massive start on this by doing the head, which I've got here, which we did all of that in the first stage. And we also started on the foot in the last pack, which looks like this, and it's today. Lots to do on the foot still. We're going to add a load of detail, and then we're going to start the leg. So all to do with the right foot and leg this time. Now, if you like what you see and you want to get this for yourself, put a link down here to the Fanhome website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But I really can't wait to get cracking on this, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So here's the magazine, number 7. Each stage comes with its own magazine. So flicking through that here. And as you can see, when it comes to the part where we're building, we are going to be continuing on the right foot. So we've got the elements of the sole of the right foot, which we're going to be putting together now. So by the end of it, we are looking like that. And I'll be honest with you, when I first saw these packs, there is a lot of little detail parts in each pack now. So I'm guessing it is the detail that we're going to be working on going forward. So with that in mind, the first 2 parts we need is this metal joint here, which has got this section just at the back here and this stabilising joint here. We want it this way round. It's got a stamp of a number 3 on the bottom. That is just going to be going over the top here like that. We are going to be putting a HP screw through here. Now the instructions are saying, make sure you put this screw in tight, but do not over tighten it, otherwise you are going to break the plastic. So when it says things like that, I tend to screw this in. Matter of fact, even though it's going into plastic, I am going to put this in a bit of oil because there was a little bit of resistance in there. Oh, that's a lot better. Okay, so get this in and then that much of a turn, that should be fine. So it has got a tiny bit of friction on there. Perfect. Now this stabilizer is going to be going on the sole of the foot, and this is the actual structure for the sole of the foot. It's going to be going on this side. So if I just slot this in here, just like that, that's where it's going to go. Now it is going to have an FP screw through the hole here. Going to be a little bit tricky to get my screwdriver in there, but I'm sure we can manage this. And there you go, that has gone in. And as you can see, I am managing to get a screwdriver in, even though it's in an angle. But again, it should look like that. Now we've already done the rear stabilizer like this. We did this in stage 5. So that looks like that. This is going to go this way round, and it's going to be fitting just at the back, just here. So it's going to go on this way, like that there. Once again, we want an FP screw, which I have got here, and I'm going to be putting that through this side. And again, tighten it up, but don't over tighten it. So that's perfect. Excellent. Now, on the sole, we've got this hole just here I'm pointing to. We're going to need this part here, which has got a little sort of like bit that's coming out at the end there, which is going to go into that just like that there. It's going to be held in with an IP screw from the underside. I can't even describe parts today. Now it says IP on the instructions, but if you look at my bag, it says AP. That's the only ones I've got in here. We're not meant to be getting AP screws in this pack. So I am going to be putting it in with the AP screw here. So get this lined up. I'm going to keep it in line with what we've got here and put this in this side here. This screw's fitting absolutely fine. So I am guessing they've either labelled the bag wrong or it is an AP screw. As you can see, that's in just like that. Put that to one side because we've got these small detail sections in the bag here. Let's get these open. And the way these are going, if I show you on the close-up camera, we're going to have this one here, this bolt one here with the bolt facing towards the disc, like that. And on the other side, this one is just going to go in here like that. So that's the completed section there. Now, if I bring over the main right foot that we were working on last time, this is going to be going into this side just here. And it's basically going into the hole that you can see just there. So this part here has got a notch just in it there. We're going to put this in so that notch lines up with the notch that we've got on that section. And it should hold itself in just like that. I've then got this section here to put over the top. We've got 3 lugs, which are going to go into these 3 holes that we can see just there. So line up the bottom one first, and then the top 2, and push that into position like that. There you go. That one's in. And then we've got another detail here that's just going to go over the top. Again, these 2 holes are going to go into the 2 lugs there, so that this wheel is in the centre. So again, I'm just going to line this up, just like this. And when that's in, it should look like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That's a lot of detail, isn't it? Check that out. Here's the magazine for stage 8. So again, flick through this. So you can see every page. And we're going to be continuing on that. So we're going to do the inner wheel of the right foot. So here's the parts here. Putting this together. So again, at the end, it's looking just like that. Again, small bags on this build means you've got a lot of details. So we've got a connecting rod to create first. And they're in these little pack looking like that. Now, if you look at this end, it's sort of bending upwards. What we want to do when we put this on, we want this to be going on here. So the thicker end's on this side with this end here sort of going like that. It's probably better to show you. I'm going to hold this in with a DM screw. Now, before I put this in, it is 30 degrees in the UK today. So there will be a buzz in the background to put the air conditioning on. So there we go. That's that one going in here. Excellent. That looks like that. Now I've got this gear to put on, and on this side of the gear, as you can see, we've got a little tab coming out, which this is going to go over the top of. So if I put that over the top, it should look like that. We're going to hold this in place with an OP screw. So I've got the OP screw here. This is a flange screw, and it will just go into the hole here. Excellent. So what we're going to do is we're going to be taking this ring like this, and what we've created, as you can see, we have got a notch on the back there. That's going to match the keyhole pattern we've got there. So line this up. You can probably already see I've got my screwdriver loaded up with an IP screw. Just get that through the top there. And that's in place. Okay, to put this section in, we're going to bring over the wheel. And a couple of things you're going to see. First off, you've got 2 lugs here. And then just underneath this flap here, there's another little point just there. The way this is going to go on is that the 2 lugs on the back here are going to go over these points. And that this shaft here is going to go over the point that we've got just there. So if I get this into position, just like that, that's how this is going to fit on. So first thing I'm going to do is hold this in place with some IP screws. Now these IP screws, as you can see here, are silver. So let's get these in. One this side. Excellent. On the other side. Perfect. And then one more to hold this section in just under the flap just there. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. That's held that in perfectly like that. And you can put the cover back over the top like that. Now in the picture they've got this at that angle, but obviously this is able to move, as you can see. So up to you how you have it. Okay, put that to one side. We're going to create another wheel now. And again, having this way round, I've got one point to put on this side. Now these are semicircular patterns, so they can only go on one way. One's going now, and the other one's just going to go on the other side, following the semicircular pattern, just like that. This is going to be going over the top of what we created here. And as you can see, we do have 3 lugs to press into these holes. Let's get them lined up. 1, 2, 3, and then just push them together. So they're in like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 9, here's the magazine. Again, have a flick through. We are going to be doing the right foot wheel support. So we're creating another support here, and again, putting that on what we've created here, still building up on that right foot. And once again, we're going to be starting with one of these small sections here. We want to make sure it's orientated like this. This has got a slight raise to it, if you can see there. I'm going to be putting, this is a stabilizer we're creating now, the metal end which looks like this, just like we did at the very start of this pack, into there like that, holding it in place with a HP screw. Once again, don't over tighten this, just tight enough to keep that into place there. Bringing over what we created last time, we're actually going to be doing exactly the same thing, putting this in this side this time. So get that in like that, and it's held in this side with an FP screw. Big long screw this one, it should go all the way through though, as you can see. And now this whole section we've created is going on the sole of the foot. So I've turned this upside down, and we've got two locating lugs in here which are just going to be going over these two holes here. So I'm going to get this lined up. They fit in just like that. That's being held in with IP screws. Got them here, these are silver, and I'll get these in place. So that's one, and this one's two. Now that adds a lot of stability now to that foot, as you can see there. Now we've got some small details to put on. So the first small detail looks just like this. That's going to be going into the hole just here. So it's just a push in. That's one in there like that. I'm just going to check. It does hold itself, so that should be okay. We've got a larger gear here that looks like this. That's going below it. Now I'm just trying to see which way round it goes. You can move this plate just slightly so you can get this in, but I need this to fit quite flat into this gear. So I'm going to keep it that way round. And that's held in with one of the silver IP screws again. Now even though this looks like it does something, these aren't working gears. They just look like that. We can put that whole thing to one side and bring over what we got left now. Now in this bag, we do have a bracket and a little steel rod looking like that. This bracket here is going to be going this way round onto the bottom there, and I'm going to be putting this steel pin through this to keep things to both in place. This is going to be tricky, and I have put this hinge just in a tiny bit of oil. There we go, that's in. Then I'm going to put this part in where it's going to go here. I'm going to use this little block I've got here to make sure that's in place like that. And again, tap this through. As you can see, that's in place. Get that all the way through. And there we go, that's the pin in place. Bring the whole foot over again, and this is going to be going on this side here. It's basically going to be covering these two holes that we can see here, or lugs, one here and one here. This has got a little notch on it, which is going to match the notch just on the bottom there. So lining this up, it's going to go just like that there. So I'm going to hold that in with two EM screws. So one here and one here. We've then got this support looking like that, which is just going to go over these 2 points just there, held in with IP screws. So one there. It's amazing how this is building up. I do like... I'm going to say I like how busy it is, but that was originally something that put me off this build. But it is looking really good. So now that's in place, we are now in a position to put on the wheel that we created. Oh, I can't remember what stage. Was it stage 6 we created this? Now at the back, you see we've got a little hole for this to push on to what we've just created there. So it's going to go in just like this. And push it in like that. Now we can rotate this round. But that's how that looks. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That looks brilliant. So in stage 10, here's the stage 10 magazine. Let's flick through that. We're going to be doing the right leg. So we are starting now the right leg, which looks just like that. Very bulky metal parts in this, I can tell you that already, because this is a really heavy pack. And the reason for that is because of this massive section here. Look at that. Okay, we don't need that first off. I can keep that down. What I do need first are these two parts here. And all we're going to do is push this ball joint, these are plastic, into this section here. Snap it in. Just like that. I'm just seeing how that fits. That looks good. It does pop out. I am going to put a bit of oil just on the end there. There you go. That's in perfect now. Put that to one side. And this leg section I just showed you earlier, we have got a cover to put over this section just here. Looks like this. And again, I think this is just a push in, which I'm making sure that's all flush when that's in. That's good. We've got a frame detail which looks like that, which is just going to go on the end here. Push that all the way on. Excellent. Snapped into position. And then I've got this bracket here, which is just going to go through the hole that you can see there. So when I've got the bracket on, it should come out the other side like that. But I'm going to hold that into position just with these CM screws. Again, these are flange screws in a bit of oil. And put this into position. So we've got one here. Excellent. And one just on the other side. And with those two sections there and there, that's all there is to do in that stage. I've really enjoyed this pack. This is the last stage of this pack. So here's the magazine. Keep flicking through. And then we've got the right leg again. Again, some more details we're going to be adding to that. So by the end, it looks like that. Again, I can tell you, heavy pack. So again, another massive bit of metal, which now makes me question how heavy is this model going to be. It must be really heavy. That looks like that. Even these parts that I'm taking out now are all metal. And this part here as well, all metal. So first thing I'm going to do, remember we created this in the last stage. We're actually going to be putting this into position on here. Now you can see a notch just on the end here. That's going to fit the notch in there. So when I put this on, it's going to go on. Let me get it the right way around. This way around. Whoops. So it fits quite flush in there like that. It's going to be held in with a PP screw just through this side here. I'm a child. I'm sniggering at a PP screw. So let's get that into position. So there you go, that holds itself in. Perfect. Now on this side here, we've got this other metal part. It is shaped, D-shaped pattern, just into there like that. Turn it over, held in with an FM screw from this side. So in a little bit of oil for that. And then that one could go in. Now, what we created in the last stage, this is now going to be going onto that. And basically it's going to fit just into the cavity that we can see just there. So it's going to fit in like that. It's going to be able to turn, you see. Once I've got that in a position to hold it in, I need to put a bracket over the top. I've got that bracket here. Put that over the top. There you go. And now that's held in position. BM screws to keep that held in. Bit of oil. Get these in. So on this side. Perfect. Do make these tight because you do want a lot of friction on these joints. You don't want them to be too floppy when the finished model is done. So see, that's in tight and it is hard to turn, but that's how you want it. Okay, excellent. So that's in. And then all we're doing is we're going to close off this section by putting this massive metal section here over the top, just like that. And again, held in with 4 BM screws. Did I say 4? Nah, I meant 5. I didn't see that one there. Let me just show you where they are. So we've got these 4, and we've got that one there. So I'll get these in. Let's have a look how that looks. Now, if you've done the Iron Man build in the past, I can tell you already on this, there's way more metal in this, big time. You can feel that just in the foot and the leg section we've created here. So the section of leg we created here is actually the thigh. So we haven't actually got anything to connect to this. I was trying to get this in this, but no, this is actually the thigh. So this goes further up. But that is all there is to do in that stage. That is all there is to do in that pack. As I said, I really enjoyed that. Look, check that out. That's cool, isn't it? So we created the right foot, which now looks like that. And obviously we've started the thigh, which goes this way around, looking like that as well, all metal. Great build. If you like this build, I have put the link down here to the Fanhome website. You can get this all the way from pack 1, but I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, Take care.